My apologies. But it is what it is. It could have been rectified by me using this tool called a clock on the wall, but hey, that's new technology. Can't do that. Go ahead, D. Tell people who's allowed to be here.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21. That's VNT1 to be here. If not, you have to leave. Back to you.
Back to me indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Soon
Fucking
you'll free my
clocks.
door.
Am I right? How the fuck do they
Oh, we
work?
lost your voice.
Oh, you
We
can't hear
lost
me?
sound.
Really? No sound? Testing, testing, testing. Nothing?
Or maybe it's me. I can hear you.
Oh,
It's
right on.
me. Okay, sorry, it's me.
Uh, it's not me, it's you. Is that what you're saying? Cheers, Stone Root. Good to see you. Welcome. It's a rare daytime show, so we get Stone Root out of Maine out here. I was going to do a Maine accent, and then I realized I don't actually know. Oh no, that's not true. It's like the old school fishing accent from movies, right? Anyway, I'm not going to pretend to do it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, what's that, D?
It's okay.
Oh, right on. Welcome anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for joining us. We have a rare hardcore appearance here in the beginning. I feel blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to hop onto the chat, we'd love to hear from you. I'd especially love to hear from you. As little as a, oh, right on, that's a cool logo. As little as a
Nice.
hello is always welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you're bashful, if you're shy, if you're a little bit private, feel free to just say hello or something. You obviously don't have to if you're really super private, but we'd love to hear from you. You know what I mean? That's the whole idea of a conversational show. And very few rules, ladies and gentlemen. Just be half civilized. Don't come on to start a fight. Don't basically start a grudge or anything else. You guys are welcome to have disagreements in the chat as long as they're civil. I know that a lot of people say, "Oh, no disagreements or whatever," blah blah blah. That's not how I work. I just want you guys to be civil adults. I think we can all discuss things, even contentiously, even things that we don't agree with. We can discuss things with people we don't like, on and on and on, because we're all fucking grown ass adults, right? The rest of society be damned, to be perfectly honest, based on what's going on in the news. But ladies and gentlemen, here anyway, we maintain at least a veneer of civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have outlandish opinions, whatever else. Just make sure you've thought them through. If you're in the chat, you're basically hammering on something. Don't have pulled it out of your ass. Don't basically make shit up. We every once in a while get some fucking trolls, weirdos, and people that basically hammer on things. We don't need that. That's kind of like Messiah energy or some shit. We don't need your Messiah. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, just come on here to have a conversation. Come on here to goof off, stuff like that. So, other than that, basically, don't make fun of the panelists in the chat, and otherwise, you'll be fine forever. If you want to hop on the panel, I'm going to post a link here in a second because otherwise you'd have to telepathically guess it. You are welcome. It is an open panel, ladies and gentlemen. I do actually welcome anybody who would like to hop on here. I have extremely simple rules. You are welcome to disagree with me. You are, in fact, encouraged to disagree with me or anybody else on the panel. That's one of the best ways to have a really interesting
Yeah.
discussion, is to have a little bit of disagreement. I am going to mute D because we don't need to hear all that feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best ways, one of the worst things about that is it just fucking sets me off a train of thought too. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what was I trying to say? We don't need, yeah, I lost my train of thought for fuck's sake. So, fuck's sake, this is the worst part of that. I don't know. I need to figure this out. It's fucking ridiculous. I was trying to say, people who are welcome to come on here, whatever. You're welcome to disagree with me. You're welcome to have a different opinion or anything else. You don't have to like me. You can dislike me for all I give a shit. Honestly, it's not really that important. Grown adults can dislike each other and be in the same room, right? Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I just want you to have thought through anything that you're going to bring to the table. So if you're talking about some kind of a new grow technique or whatever else, something that you do that we don't do or whatever else, you're welcome to. I honestly would love to hear about it. Yeah, I want you to have thought it through. I don't want you to pull it out of your ass. I don't want it to just be come on here just to fight, basically that kind of thing. So I want you to be on the level. That's basically what it is with these discussions. I want you to come on here on the level. I'm surprised with how many people have been not on the level that have, come on the show, basically. I don't know, maybe that's just a me expression. So it's not an expression I made up, but I don't know. Maybe it's just something a way that I look at things. I don't know. It's just there's been a lot of people who are just simply out to get something else instead of basically coming on just for honest conversation. You know what I mean? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, don't be a dick. Don't show your dick. Don't be a fucking lunatic. Don't show your asshole or be an asshole. Don't show your douchebag or be a douchebag. Extremely simple, ladies and gentlemen. So, other than that, you're welcome to disagree with us. You're welcome to have contrary opinions. You're welcome to grow in some super taboo way that you think that we're gonna get our panties in a bunch over, whatever the fuck. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a fucking lunatic. Don't be a butthole. That kind of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, if you are a halfway, even just a halfway, like hardcore. If we let hardcore on the show, ladies and gentlemen, I bet you anything you're probably okay. That's mean, right? That's mean. I'm joking, hardcore. You're obviously perfectly civilized. I'm just making fun. I'm just lashing out at making fun of people. Uh, there we go. There's the link right there. No, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to be on your halfway decent behavior. You don't even have to be on your best behavior. Jesus Christ, what is this? Fucking Sunday church or some shit? Ladies and gentlemen, you can swear, you can maybe don't fart, stuff like that. Maybe don't yawn in front of the camera just because that's rude for the viewers and stuff. But basically, if you want to talk about any interesting things you want to talk about, you are welcome. You actually are welcome on this show. We can deal with the disagreement. We can deal with people disagreeing with us. I can deal with people disagreeing with me, all that kind of stuff. So, folks, would love to hear from some different voices. Let's start introducing the panelists, we could say. Cheers, D Zombie, with the safe kitten over there. Good to see you. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, chat? Sorry, Stream, for walking all over you earlier. I didn't
That's
realize
right.
the mic was off. I hope everyone's having a great day in chat. I'm just chilling out. Me and Mrs. D went to a bunch of different dollar stores to get a bunch of crafting stuff for her stuff that she does, and now we're just hanging out, being safe. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, man. Cheers, D. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome, Hardcore.
Little red one. What was that? Orange, little orange one.
Oh, we're just saying welcome. Oh, he might be busy.
Howdy. Oh, you-
That's a quick howdy. He might be. I don't know why I'm muting myself. I muted myself for some reason. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here goofing off for a little bit. We did get a little bit of a late start, so we might not be here for that long. We'll probably be here for about an hour or so. So, ladies and gentlemen, do please hop on here. Stone Root says these tariffs have seemingly removed Swiss cheese and my kids' favorite toys off the shelves in my area. Removed them off the shelves in my area. That's a new one. Well, it's not new because I've heard that about what was it the other day? Oh, now I'm blanking, but something basically isn't. Well, DJI products are basically not sold here, but that's a different story. But partly because of the tariffs, because even without the DJI stuff, because there's a specific anti-DJI legislation potentially coming, the tariffs basically on the Chinese drone stuff is now. Oh, and then there's extra tariffs on DJI. I don't know how that's legal, but whatever. The tariffs on Chinese drone stuff is like 150% or something. So basically, a $700 DJI drone is now 1,800 something dollars. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, look at that. We're looking at I know this sounds ridiculous hardcore, but if you could try to move the camera more steady because we're getting choppy frames, and so what happens is we miss like every third or fourth frame, and so it's really just goes all over the place. So if you could try to keep the camera as steady as possible. That's basically just because we've got shitty internet. Here, let me spotlight it for you though. That's better. We can at least see it. Nice big plants. I think those are his gorilla plants. Yeah, it sure looks like it. Unfortunately, hardcore is very, very pixelated, so we can't see super well. But yeah,
Yeah, sorry about that.
that happens.
I can try turning my hotspot on and using my other phone.
Mm,
Sometimes that works, but for now I'll just do a really quick walk around
mm.
here. These are the feral Cheryls.
Oh, right.
Like this one got knocked down. So coming to the vines.
How
And
tall
I
are
got
the average on these?
well, let's see. Average is maybe like 6 feet,
Huh.
but I mean this one right here
That
is a
one's a
good
big one.
eight
Yeah.
feet probably.
Yeah. Not bad.
Um,
That's awesome.
I know there's like a 12-foot male back in here. There was
Hmm.
like here's a dead male that fell off.
So remind
Well,
us, did you intentionally seed these guys or what?
no, these are feral. These are in situ.
Oh, these aren't even your plants. They're just feral plants.
Yep, yeah, this is
Oh,
where
right
Cheryl
on.
grows.
Right on. Huh. And you were talking about this. This is basically a semi-recognized or a recognized land race, Midwest land race, basically, right?
Well, no, it's an endemic land race. If anything, it's not well recognized.
Oh, you just muted yourself.
I mean, I guess I could say for
I
sure.
might be conflating two conversations. Somebody was talking about a land race. Yeah, I think I'm conflating two conversations now that I think about it. Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
this is basically a land race. It's been here for 80 years, so
Uh,
it's an endemic population that's just kind of by itself. I mean, there could be another little population, 4 miles down the road. I just have not found it yet.
Gosh, I wonder.
Who
We're
knows? I
almost
mean,
going to have to find different names for that because it is definitely a land race, but it's essentially like you said, it's endemic and unselected. It's a wild rewilded variety, I guess you could say. I was just reading about pariah dogs the other day, and it was such an interesting rabbit hole to go down. Actually, by some estimates, the majority of dogs in the world are essentially Indian or related region pariah dogs, which are basically the offspring of essentially the same wolves that became domesticated or a very related species. We can't really tell because both species are almost certainly extinct at this point. I mean, wolves are generally not found in those areas anymore. But what am I trying to say? That so domesticated dogs are thought to have basically at first self-domesticated basically by being friendly enough to hang around our garbage and stuff like that and being useful enough as alarm systems for predators and all that kind of stuff that we allowed them around basically. And then the most friendly puppies we would take in. And unfortunately, they were so successful with their self-domestication strategy that evidently their wolf species has since died out, basically. And pariah dogs are evidently either the same species or a very related species, maybe a cousin or something, that did the same thing but never was taken in. And basically always, or at least until recent times, never was taken in and self-selected themselves all the way down. And so effectively, they have self-domesticated because pariah dogs they can bring them in like a regular dog. You can train them. You can do everything else. They're by all accounts a regular dog, but they have a lineage that's basically never been touched by people. So it's a
ooh,
self-selected
stinky.
landrace variety. Well, so when you think of a land race, you think of something that was created by people. At least I normally think of something that was created by people. When you think about Durban poison, it's not something that popped up in the hills of fucking South Africa. It was literally created by South African, breeders and growers, and then has been basically maintained, presumably, honestly, probably not even in the hills, honestly, because of the illegality, but maybe now in the hills because I think it is legal in South Africa. But whatever, I guess I know way too little about Durban poison now I think about it. But that was selected by humans. And this is an example of something that maybe once upon a time maybe was selected by humans. We don't really know, right? I think we're talking about how it was used for something and then basically was released. I might be mistaking that story again, but regardless of what the actual origin story of that one is, if it's a land race, it's an unselected, untouched, feral land race. Feral was the word I was looking for. Uh, I don't know.
That's why I call her
Do you
Cheryl.
see the distinction? Am I making too much of a distinction out of a difference or what?
Um, I don't. I think my phone's really quiet. I can barely hear you, but
Oh, right on. Sorry for going on a rant about
um,
pariah dogs.
yeah, I say it's untouched. It's yeah, and there's a lot of them.
You know what's not untouched? Your mom.
Yeah, they're just fucking chock full of seeds and dying off already. Yeah, some of them got a different smell to them. All right, well, look at how skinny these leaves are on these bugs.
Hmm.
These,
And I forget
like
honestly, have you had a chance to dry and smoke some of these in the past?
no, but I'm not really. I don't really care. It doesn't. I'm not. These ones, it wouldn't do a damn bit of good because they've been seeded since day one.
Hmm.
I mean, there barely is any bud on them. I mean, there's enough to smell. I mean, fucking plenty of seeds.
Because it makes me wonder if they do even have very much CBD or if they're just really just kind of rope variety, that kind of thing.
They've got some CBD to them,
Hmm.
and I have smoked it, but that's crazy. This one's doing okay. This one's not dead. You see all these ones, all the fucking buds are already fucking dried away.
Hmm. I've heard of koi dogs. Yeah. What was it? One of the humane societies, I want to say, had a litter of koi dog puppies apparently when I was looking at dogs, and I got my lunatic. Um, what was it? We have a lot of wolf domestic coyote, so wolf slash domestic slash coyote interbreeding in New England. Makes sense because there's still some wolf populations. There's definitely coyote populations. They can interbreed just fine. And domestic dogs that basically get out and get a little bit randy. Very interesting. Wolves and dogs generally seem to, not always, but generally seem to have some kind of friendliness to each other. But dogs and coyotes oftentimes really don't look at each other the right way. Like my dog, basically, I was worried because not this dog, he's way bigger than a coyote, but my old dog was about, I don't know, 45 pounds or so, which is still actually bigger than a coyote. Coyotes look bigger than they are. They got lots of fluffy fur and stuff, but honestly, they're like a 30-pound dog, 25, 30-pound dog. Anyway, a couple
I
times
know
we
my
kind of
camera's not
got
gonna pick it up, but
pursued. What's
this
that,
one's
hardcore?
actually frosty.
Oh, nice. A couple times we got pursued basically by some really hungry, I guess, coyotes in LA. And so I was always wondering, okay, how's he going to react? Or is he going to be friendly? Because he was generally a fairly friendly dog to other dogs. But no, he could tell, even from a distance, he was like, what the fuck is this animal? And he would growl and pose up and stuff. So he was ready for a fight anytime he saw a coyote, which is honestly not something that every dog does. You hear all the time about dogs being welcomed by, like, actually coyotes will trick them basically by pretending to invite them for play or whatever, and then the pack of coyotes will sick upon them and kill the dog. It's so cruel. Like, dude, the dog was just coming for a fucking, it was just coming to play. Anyway, he was texting me,
Oh wow, that one was stickier than shit. And this one's got
Just like your mom when I leave.
right?
like a burnt rubber meets mint,
Burnt
a
rubber
minty burnt
meat
rubber.
mint. That'd be a great name for a strain. Burnt rubber meat mint. People are like, how does it taste? I don't know. You guess.
But it is she's really sticky.
It
I
tastes
just
like
been kind of just
lemons.
kind of fingering the buds a little bit just to see what kind of smell I got out of them.
Your mom likes the fingers in the nose a little bit. That was
Ah,
teasing.
you beat me to it. Ah, nice.
God, I got stinging nettle on my shins already. Man, she got frost on her.
We've officially entered soaking wet dog season. Fucking dog goes out in the backyard for a little while. It's just pouring fucking rain. He goes and plays in the azalea plants. Oh, cheers, bud. Good to see you, buddy. Uh, oh, Bud says, glad I got here in time for the Cheryl. So anyway, dog goes outside and does his usual rounds, checking where the neighborhood cat has been, passing through, checking if the birds are doing their fucking bird shit. Hopefully not literally, but he definitely checks on all the birds. They squawk at him and stuff. We've got some robins and blue jays nesting in the trees, and they frequently like to kind of try to dive bomb him. I don't know. They love to hate him or something. I don't think he's not like he doesn't attack them or anything, so they're not like attacking him, but they definitely want him to know that he's not like supposed to, I don't know, just do whatever he's doing. Anyway, so he just gets soaking fucking wet, and so now I'm just looking at this. He looks like a spiked dog, like. Anyway, fucking dog. We've entered that season. I'm gonna have to get a dog hair dryer or some shit. I don't know. Because there's like somehow never enough towels in the entire house to dry the dog properly. I'm kidding, but Cheers, folks in the chat, by the way. Cheers, Rory. Cheers. Hey, cheers, Rory. Good to see you.
Not
Excuse
seen
me.
any of the dark purple ones though. Last year there were some that were already purple by now.
That's right. I'm forgetting you showed us some beautiful plants last year.
Well, the year before last, technically, I
Huh.
guess.
Dude, the
There's a
claws
couple other
already.
ones here. Yeah. Ooh, that one's got a fucking hell of a good smell to it. Got some purple too, I think too.
We were just
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
there's
all
fucking.
the crazy aromas in cannabis yesterday, and I guess Bud and I were talking about that, and it is really just honestly crazy, isn't it? Um, Metal. Like just the weirdest profiles that you wouldn't ever expect from a tomato or something. You know what I mean? Like or a rose. You know, people talk about all the different aromas with roses, and I was thinking about that last night actually. You can go in Portland, you can go to the International Rose Test Garden, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of rose varieties growing in patches. They basically have a small patch. Some of them are one plant, but a lot of them are like a patch of several plants, maybe
We have
I
them
don't
around
remember
here.
exactly, but 6 by 6 or something. And there's such a variety of aromas, actually, a surprising variety of aromas. Many of them do smell like roses, of course, but some even don't quite smell like roses. Some smell more like other flowers, gardenias or something. But most of them basically smell like a fucking flower. And when you sniff them, none of them smell like rusted metal or burning tires or I don't even know what breakfast cereal or Jesus Christ, my Platinum Yeti that I had years ago smelled like, and it was so ultra specific. It smelled like the butter on a pancake. So it didn't smell just like the pancakes, didn't smell just like the butter. It smelled like the butter on a pancake. It was fucking surreal, honestly, how uncanny it was basically. I'd crack open a jar with in a friend's a car or something. I remember one time sitting in a friend's car and I cracked open the jar. He's like, "What the fuck is this Denny's in here?" Because it smelled like butter on a fucking pancake with basically just a hint of breakfast sausage on the side. I forgot to mention. Jesus Christ, where do you find that in a rose? Where do you find that in a
Nice.
lily or in a dandelion? You know what I mean? Like I know of no other plant that is able to have that kind of ludicrous variety of aromas. By the way, for our international viewers like Jeff Papalia, Denny's is an American diner. You probably know it from movies and stuff, but just in case.
We got Denny's here.
Uh,
Ooh, ouch,
they have
ouch.
Denny's in Mexico too. They cracked me up when I saw it.
See, the only problem now I have with Denny's is they took away the birthday thing. You used to be able to get a free meal on your birthday. They took that away.
They took that away? What the fuck? Over my
Yeah,
cold dead hands.
yeah. That was just something that me and Mrs. D both were look forward to. So our birthdays are the same month and everything. So we go twice.
Sorry, I was just responding to Flora here. Hope Flora's doing well. One of these days, I need to go and meet up with him. Actually, now that I finally have some weed, my weed's all drying, of course, right now. But I finally actually have weed. It's not just promised weed or something like my girlfriend in Canada or something. You know, so goes the old story. But this is actually tangible that I can actually hold in my hand. So one of these days, finally, we're gonna have to finally get together with Flora Nugs and Bingus as well. Bingus and I were teasing getting together. So I hate to go meet weed friends empty-handed. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? It's a faux pas. You know, like holy shit. I don't even know. What are we looking at? Just random foliage.
Yeah, I was gonna
Behold our Wisconsin ground cover.
bunch of
You got
thistles
body
and
fluid
fucking.
left?
This is like crime pays but botany doesn't, but the Timu version.
Fuck, I don't know.
Hey,
I don't
that
know. I don't know. I'm ashamed that I don't know all the plants that are around here. Really.
Exactly. Crime pays but body doesn't would be like, this is a mellifluorous thing, da, 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 da. And the history comes from the such and such.
Locally
You
known as
should,
blah blah
we
blah.
should totally do a spoof channel. We're like, this plant, I don't fucking know. It's got some Latin name. I don't fucking know what this shit is. This
What's
other
on a
dumbass
in
fucking
your
plant.
butt?
This is a fucking green plant. I don't even fucking know. And there's another dumb fucking plant, man. I don't know. Some fucker probably named this plant too.
And then find some poison ivy and start picking it. Like, "Hey, look at
That's
this
right.
one."
And hold it like he does with his tattoo and measure it with your thumb. Like, oh shit, this is poison ivy.
No, I'm getting hit by the thistles and by the um stinging nettles.
Deliberately name things wrong. This is a white American rose. Nice butterfly.
You got monarchs.
Yeah, man. Bud would be happy. Oh, Bud is watching, so Bud probably is happy.
I know this way there's a couple plants too, but I think that those might be volunteers from my seeds.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna want to go this way. Fuck,
Gosh, I'm
everything
always
everywhere I
so
step is
tempted to
just
go and
fucking
drop some of my seeds on the
get
side of the road
stabbed by a
somewhere
million
and just
things.
let them do their thing. Haven't done it much. I've dropped some seeds here and there, but I've never really gone back and looked at them.
We got stinging nettles and wild grape everywhere. Take
One
a
of
little
these
fort
days.
under there. Deer nest.
You know what I might do if my
He's not.
feminized crop works out? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go scatter some seeds here and there. Just like, what I'm thinking of is not necessarily even around my neighborhood. I'm just thinking about,
Ooh.
when I drive to the coast or something, just toss a seed off the road or something, see if anything happens, and basically see if there's a weed plant that basically grows there next year. It'd be fun. I don't know. It'd be fun to just scatter weed plants for here and there.
Well, if you just
Then
set them on the surface, they don't have much of a chance. But if you gotta give them a little berry,
and then one day
I
you
suppose that's
see on the
true. I mean,
news.
my thought is always that they get covered fairly easy, but you're right, honestly. I mean, realistically, how unlikely is it that one seed is going to find its way to the ground? Yeah, 100%.
Except for that one day you see in the news or in the newspaper, weed plant found, 20-foot plant found on the side of road or some shit.
But yeah, how fun would that be? You'd be like, well, I know what weed plant that is, to obviously it'd be useless for everybody else, but like, oh, I know that's my Morgana or whatever. Fun.
now this one's got to be. I guess she's not huge, but every bit of 9 feet
Which
maybe.
is not what they say about your mom, because she is so huge.
That's what she says about your wiener.
Ah, nice one.
Yeah, she's frosty. She's got frost on her. What the buds are there? She's just glistening it.
Hmm.
I'll have to take some
What's
just regular
what's
video with my
the terp
phone.
profile? Like lemony or kind of skunky or earthy or what?
Um, I can't explain it, but it's different. It's not something that is abundant in the cannabis world, I guess.
Sandalwood or the tears of a young Persian
No,
prince. That's what we'll do. We'll just describe it metaphorically. It
if
smells
I were to guess, it would
like the
have like it's
tears of
got
a
like a
Persian princess.
minty undertones to it.
Huh? Right on.
Minty, and then
I'm always surprised that mint is not a more prevalent profile in cannabis. It comes across every once in a while, Kush mints and stuff like that, but gosh, it's generally speaking avoided. And
it's like a spearmint almost.
huh. Maybe that's what it is. I guess people just don't like that mentholy whatever. I don't know. I've always loved mint. I've always loved
Yeah, no, it does have that mentally
hmm.
spearminty. Um, what's the other thing?
It's so
Uh,
fascinating to me too that I mean, don't get me wrong, smoking is bad, but it's fascinating to me that African Americans predominantly smoke menthols to the point that it's culturally famous, right? Even in movies, the black people always smoke menthols, right? But it's borne out in real
Cool.
life. Apparently, 80 or 90%
Part.
of black people that are smokers smoke menthols, whereas white people, or basically all non-African Americans, essentially, including Mexican Americans, etc., don't smoke menthols. And so it's something even more like 95% won't smoke menthols. Almost nobody smokes menthols. So the menthol market is almost exclusively for African Americans. I'm
my
absolutely
mom
baffled
smokes
how that
menthol.
is.
That's what I was gonna
100%.
say.
I've definitely met people who smoke menthols, 100%. But the
My
market
mom does,
borne
but
out is like
I
80,
smoke it. I'll
90%.
smoke it when if I'm out of
And that's the
my
thing
regular
too. I've
shit.
I've met plenty of people. They're like, oh yeah, menthols are fine, but then for some reason they would never, ever, ever. Bud has talked about that. He would never, ever buy them. On and on and on. So I guess again, smoking is bad. I'm not encouraging smoking, but I'm just trying to say it's a good example of how, for some reason, mint, which is this incredibly, really ubiquitous herb that's in so many different things, and people love it in desserts and shit, and in iced tea and whatever else. For some reason, people don't like it in weed almost at all until they do. I guess we reserve the right to be irrational.
God, there's something buried in here.
That's what she
Some tiny
said.
ones. I have to maybe come after everything else dies a little more so I can get at them.
That and cobwebs.
Surprised I haven't unearthed the fucking yellow jacket hive yet.
I got lucky this year. I didn't see any. Okay, I saw some yellow jackets, but I didn't encounter any nests or anything. Basically, we've got mostly paper wasps around, or I had mostly paper wasps around my area. I wonder if they just keep each other away or something. I definitely had paper wasps. Unfortunately, I had them in my
Definitely
mailbox and shit, but paper wasps are
a
reasonably friendly. So,
I've been spending the past probably 4 or 5 days attacking a fucking nest. Um, there's a company of these guys that are home builders.
I should roll a joint.
They've got their shop like 2 doors down, and I mean they're swarming like crazy where I'm at, and I drink a lot of soda, and every time you fucking open your can of pop or something like that, you get swarmed. But in order to find them, like I take
Oh,
diatomaceous earth, and I got like a little puffer bottle, so it's basically like a ketchup bottle or whatever, and you can poof diatomaceous earth at them, and then when they get hit with that, they're a lot easier to see, and then they'll do a little dance, and then they'll make a beeline straight for home, so you can kind of like you hit one with the shit, and then you kind of go look at the direction that he went, take your they got, and then I'll have like a bait trap or whatever, basically a bottle pop, and I'll move that direction 10 feet or whatever, and then I'll keep dusting fucking bees until or yellow jackets until I can find where they're going. I guess you could take like different colored spray paint and spray paint each different wasp, and then time how long it takes for them to get to their nest and back. If it's only like a minute, they're like within 100 feet. If it takes 5 minutes, they could be half a mile away.
you're muted, Fumi.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, you forgot that they're yellow jackets, so all you did basically is make them look cooler and more like punks at their hive. Basically, you just created a bunch of punk yellow jackets. All of a sudden, they come back and one's got like a green mohawk, and the other one's got like yellow stripes down the side. He's like, "Look at me, motherfucker! You can call me Megatron now."
But no, but I
But
fucking
yeah, but how do you get their numbers? How do you get the little numbers on the sides? You can race them across more.
Like race car numbers.
There
Well, that's you put that on the helmet, basically.
you go.
what was I can say?
Little
Oh yeah,
samurai helmet with a number on it.
so they're going into the wall of this business, and I fucking I hit him a few times with what do you call it? Search or hot shot or whatever, fucking chemical spray that shoots like 50 feet. But um, my main thing that I was hitting them with was just diatomaceous earth. Um, once they're all in the home for the night, you take that and you puff it, puff a bunch of it inside of the nest or whatever, or in the hole. And I did that for I think 3 or 4 days, but they kept fucking coming back, or it didn't quite take them out because especially if you don't take the queen out, they'll just keep reproducing them until the end of the year, and they'll just keep making more babies. But it was a big hive. Like I counted 3 bees per second coming in and out of it at one point. Just saying that there's like could be like a 10,000 bee hive or something like that. But um, last night I finally took a couple.
I
They're
misunderstood. They
not
were
made
bees
for.
or wasps?
They're yellow jackets.
The yellow jackets. Yeah, yeah.
Normally they nest in the ground, But these ones just they found a hole into the side or into behind the
Yeah, the
siding, and they
yellow jackets are famous for nesting in the fucking ground, and people will mow their lawn, and then basically the lawnmower will go over the goddamn yellow jacket hive, and then basically it's fucking war because you effectively just
yep,
declared war on their hive. Yeah, they're
it'll
famous for.
agitate them too. They hate the vibration and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And they
Just
can
burn
sting
them.
multiple times, and they will
yeah. They
unite.
don't
They
lose
will
their
swarm.
stinger like a bee. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
they'll bring the whole hive after you.
Hmm.
But
flames.
I
Just
just
use
kept
a
knocking at these
flamethrower.
things, and finally last night I went and I took a couple of damn insect foggers, the little ones where you just press the tab and you're supposed to fog rooms with them. They're not made for bees, but I was just fucking sick of them damn things.
What about a flamethrower from a distance?
It's just
That's
thick
yeah, that's
shit.
right. It's easier just to burn it all down.
Yeah, see now these I don't know what they are, so I don't. I'm just gonna put them in my other pocket.
Scorched earth.
That's right. What you need is a house that you can basically just tear off like a paper towel. So you just basically, here's your new house, and then just burn it down if there's any wasps, then just tear off another one.
Well,
That's
wasps
great.
do they do move into new houses too.
That's true.
Or yellow jackets will actually like say um if you try to kill them and you don't get them all, they will God, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, the foragers, the ones that are still around, will go and join another nest
Hmm.
where a lot of bees and shit like that. They won't do that. They're enemies, you know. That's a
Enemies.
fucking ants everywhere over here.
We are enemies for now and all
But I
time.
think I might have finally got them taken out today or last night. So we'll see.
Jeff Papaya, yellow jackets are a wasp and they're super, super aggressive. Probably one of our least friendly North American critters. Even honestly, rattlesnakes are more rational than yellow jackets are. And they're famous because um, they hang out where people hang out. You know, unlike many bugs, bees, even hornets really try to avoid people, honestly, because they have no interest in the two, basically. Wasps are oftentimes scavengers. What are they? I mean, they're basically omnivorous scavenger predators, I guess you could say. I've never really thought about this, to be honest. I don't know that they do too much specific hunting, but uh, uh, colloquially, they're oftentimes called meat bees. Like I said that poorly, meat bees.
Yeah,
And
you can catch them with like with raw chicken and shit.
100%. And by the way, this is one of the tricks if you go on a picnic or something, because basically they'll harass you. They'll harass you and hang out around your food and your meat and your fruit. If you have a watermelon out, the wasps are fucking harassing the watermelon. You can basically leave out a piece of meat, basically, and the wasps will, it's like a sacrifice for them. They'll go and eat that and they'll kind of leave you alone.
Yeah,
But
and
they're
so these ones,
incredibly
I mean,
hateful critters, basically.
even
They're
though there's a
fairly
whole lot
big.
of them,
They're what I used to be better with centimeters, but they're at least basically like an inch, maybe even 2 inches long. They can be a pretty substantial sized bug,
yellow jackets
and
are actually like the ones that the species that's here. They're smaller than like the paper wasps that hang around.
oh, that's
Paper
lucky.
wasps are like an
Here,
inch
here the
maybe,
yellow jackets are
or
bigger. Go
paper
ahead.
wasps can be up to like 2 inches. But
Yeah.
these yellow jackets are only like I'd say three-quarters of an inch.
Uh, and yeah,
Um,
most importantly, they're wasps. They're not bees. They're wasps, which are related distantly, but they are basically different lineages. And
Little
what am I
bastards.
trying to say? They do fill an ecological niche and stuff, right? So it's not like yellow jackets are a hateful devil spawn or something, but effectively they are hateful devil spawn because they'll go after you.
the
If you
Africanized
shoot them
bees
away
are
from the
devil spawn.
watermelon on the picnic, they might bite you several times and invite their friends and stuff. What was that, hardcore?
The Africanized bees are from hell, but that's another story. We don't have them up here,
I've heard that's
tropical.
basically a misplaced myth because you know what?
Oh
To be
no,
perfectly honest, I don't remember
go tell
a
that to
lot of
someone
what I
that
know.
lives in
Right.
Arizona or New Mexico. No, I follow a couple channels on YouTube that the guys go and they get those hives. Yeah,
Uh,
people die from that shit, from getting stung by them. But like so, the yellow jackets here, they're actually really calm and collective. Like they'll fly around and they'll go, buzz in your pop and everything next to you. I've only gotten stung maybe twice so far,
Hmm.
and I'm talking there's a lot of them around. And so with this business, I wasn't just gonna go willy-nilly start fucking around with, trying to kill a nest in their fucking building. And so I told the guy one morning, I said, hey, you guys got to get an exterminator out here. If you don't, I'm gonna keep knocking at this thing every night with diatomaceous earth because it takes a little while to kill them. And they just didn't bother doing anything to it. So I fucking kept attacking them. And then just yesterday, I was out there and some lady that was like the building manager or something, she came out just fucking Karened up, fucking bitching at me. What are you doing touching this building? And I'm like, you lady, you have a fucking serious infection of yellow jackets here.
Hmm.
There's all sorts of people that walk their dogs by there and shit. I mean,
Hmm.
and she's like, well, they're calm. Just look at it. I can stick my hand right next to them. They won't even do anything. I'm like, well, that's because we're right at the end of the season where
Hmm.
um once the water starts drying up and once they realize that they're
There's no
gonna, because
brood to
all the
protect,
males die,
probably. Hmm.
pretty much the whole entire colony dies except for the queens. I mean, usually there's just one queen, but there can be several queens, and they'll save them and they'll overwinter or whatever.
Uh,
But
don't they overwinter in the ground? Yeah, I think.
yeah, wherever they
Hmm.
do. And what was I say? Yeah, I told her, I'm like, yeah, stick your hand over that hole right there for about 5 seconds. You tell me how nice these things are, or yeah, go bang on the wall right now and see what happens. Because once they do start to, because
Percent.
they look like there's not a
It's
lot of them,
fine until
but
it's not
they,
fine.
they
Yeah.
let out that pheromone to swarm. You'll notice really quick where you only saw
Oh,
three of them, and now there's
people go to the
3,000 of them.
ER for wasps attacks all the time. Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I was in kindergarten. My brother was in first grade, and we lived on, like, there's hundreds of acres of woods bordered our property, and we were out in the woods all, growing up as kids, and we knocked down a yellow jacket or a wasp nest of some sort, and um the dog, our dog alerted my mom, and by the time that she noticed the dog alerting her, she could hear us screaming, so she went and got us, drove us straight to town, which was like 10 minutes away or 15 minutes away. And she called my dad when she left the house. He was at work. He met her at the hospital, and he couldn't identify us at the hospital. The doctor said it would have been like 5 or 10 more minutes, we'd have been dead because our throats would have been swollen shut.
Jesus. Yeah. Those guys are crazy. Folks are
So this
talking
right here is
about oh, go ahead.
this is my well was right where my finger is pointing at, and this is standing water in here still. I
Is that
couldn't even
where all
go
the
in the water
bodies
through
are?
here.
Is that where all the bodies are buried?
It is now.
Uh, in
Where
the
all the
well.
snails are.
So what did you do? Just like build a passive well, like I don't know, a few feet deep, just to let it fill up with water, or what's the story?
Oh, here it was oh no, it wasn't a few feet deep. It was, I think I got about 12 feet deep,
Hmm.
and it was like there was 10 feet of black dirt.
Hmm.
And then yeah, no, it took me quite a while, but I mean, the water table was about, actually, so what I did was I chased the water, is technically how it came about, for like, okay, I don't see a rock nearby, but I mean that's standing water right there. It's all, like I could do
Wow,
a
that's
fucking
actually
belly flop and it
incredible.
would leave a fucking
10
snow
feet.
angel in moss. But like, there was standing water in here in the spring, whatever, but it all kind of slowly drained down to where, like, the low spot right here, there was just still a little bit of water left. And so I just started kind of digging a hole so all the water would kind of congregate, so I could at least get my bucket and scoop it up. And then once
By the
the
way, I
water
just want to
dried,
stop you for just a second. When you dug 10 feet down, now barring obviously ancient floods or ground settling or earthquakes or whatever the fuck, you probably don't have a lot of earthquakes where you live. But anyway, there could have been other situations. I'm just thinking about the 10 feet of topsoil, 10 feet of black dirt you were saying. So
oh,
10
the
feet of
shoring,
topsoil. Well, it takes about 500 years per inch of topsoil to form. It's
That's a myth.
incredibly time consuming, and people probably don't realize this when they just slough off topsoil to build a new development or something. Fucking 500 years per inch of topsoil. So if you had basically 10 feet, and you probably had more than that, right? Because you didn't dig all the way to the surface of the earth or to the center of the earth. There was probably quite a bit more, but that was 60,000 years worth of topsoil. Just that 10 feet was 60,000 years worth.
Um, I, I, I disagree a little bit on that. I think it's yeah. There's I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm not a soil expert, but I know
Well, I was going to
you
say
can
it's
make soil a
actually
lot
more
bigger than
than
that
that
though.
because your area, not you personally, but your area was covered with ice sheets for thousands of years. So actually that was more than 60,000 years. That topsoil formed unless it was brought in by the glaciers, which again is possible. The entire Willamette Valley, basically where I live, is essentially donated soil. We basically stole Montana's and Canada's and fucking Upper Washington and all these different places soil in this huge prehistoric dam burst, basically the Missoula flood. Basically, you can look it up, and it was a glacial dam that basically burst a few times and sent these gigantic tsunamis roaring down the valley and just scouring the earth of all the topsoil that then in many cases got deposited right here basically. And so now all the fucking hipster grape growers and vintners basically have stolen Canadian soil. So yeah, it is probably a more complicated case that I'm giving, but just simplifying it for a second and saying, hey, 500 years per inch of topsoil, that's 60,000 years. So for example, that soil came from somewhere, and even if it was an inch thick somewhere else and got scraped off and brought to you, that still represents 60,000 years worth of, I don't know, earth time or
Yeah,
some
I would have
shit. You
to
know what I
say
mean?
in an old growth forest. I mean, there's I don't know. I guess I'm not even try to. But in any case, yeah. After that 10 feet or 8 feet or 10 feet or whatever of topsoil, then there was like a band of clay that was like really sulfuric smelling. That was like probably I don't know 2 feet thick, and the actual what do you call it the aquifer would have been another I think because you can look up the aquifer tables on it's like a county map or whatever, and it'll tell you all the wells and what all the wells that all your neighbors have and how deep they're at.
Gosh, it's stunning.
And
You only have to dig like 20 or 30 feet down.
the ones around here, yeah, the neighbors are like 23 feet
Oh,
or something like
that's
that.
fascinating.
So if I would have gone,
I always forget about that. Like you hear sometimes, I don't think about wells that often, but I don't know. It's fascinating when I think about it. I've heard of people basically only having to dig down about 4 or 5 feet because the water table is literally 4 or 5 feet below the ground. When I was a kid, the house I grew up in, ish, because it was a piece of shit house, but whatever. They were my stepdad was a weirdo, but we had a well and it was I think a little over 100 feet deep. I think it was 120 feet deep, and it would dry out frequently. It was this whole thing. The underground aquifer would dry out from time to time on drought summers and stuff like that. So we had to dig an even deeper well, and that would dry out from time too, because these aquifers, I guess, were just being sucked dry too much. And from what I understand, they were effectively underground rivers because there was flow in these underground aquifers. But again, we had to dig down, well, not me because it was before my time, but like over 100 fucking feet. And in some places it's 5 feet down. Absolutely fucking amazing.
yeah, well, like here, I want to say the water table was probably about, well, it's hard I want to say 2 feet below the surface, maybe 3 feet.
Huh.
I can't remember. But
That's
like, so what would
fascinating.
happen is that I would dig down and like at the end of the year, the well, and it doubled as a cistern too. So the cistern or whatever you want to call it, the hole was like 12 feet deep. And um, if I were to suck all the water out of it, I figured it held about 300.
Hmm. Hmm. No. In the movie, we would have to yell his name really loudly. Hardcore, no. Because of course that would be the first thing that you Zoom is asking me if I'm playing music. The first thing you do when you see your friend or something fall into abyss would be yell their name. Hardcore no. Anyway, fucking movies.
I've
So
fallen
go ahead, D.
and I can't get up.
That's right. That's right. No. And then you have to fall to the floor and weep. That's the other thing you have to do in a movie. Oh, damn it, we lost him. The
Lost
authorities didn't want us to know what he was telling us, ladies and gentlemen. All his scuttlebutt
government
on the underground
secrets.
water tables. Just too
Government
hot to handle,
secrets.
ladies and gentlemen. YouTube censorship is out of control. I'm kidding, obviously. Although that probably
Hmm.
is true. Cheers, Joseph Anthony. No, that's a hoedown, which is basically the sign they have up at your mom's house. Uh,
Ayo.
ladies and gentlemen, I was going to say last call, but I know we lost hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know. Maybe we'll start to wrap things up. I guess I'll say last call, even if we are wrapping things up. If you want to hop on here, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, like you could hop on here. There is technically a joint being smoked. Dr. Lee Alone has given us the buzzing bees in the chat. That's a really cool graphic. How fun is that? Really fun looking little emoji. Ladies and gentlemen, who else have I missed here? Stone Root still hanging with us. Dr. Libby Alone hanging with us, although he's going back to work apparently. So if he's still listening, cheers, Dr. Libby Alone. I bet he's neck deep in CBD plants and hemp plants. Deadfish fan was talking about they've got the Africanized hornets there in North Carolina. Let me tell you, they are a motherfucker. I was going to say, yeah, let's not fuck with the hornets, please. Got stung by one last summer on my ear. Goodness gracious. I've heard that is a lot of fun. I've had them follow me to my door and sit and hover looking in the damn house, waiting for me to come back out. Jesus Christ, hornet. Uh, Makes me really wonder if some of these insects have a lot more going upstairs than we think they do, right? Because bees apparently can recognize faces, bees can count, bees can recognize themselves in a mirror. Like there's clearly quite a bit more intelligence there. I mean, don't ask a bee to I don't know, fix your car or something, right? But the bee also doesn't have hands, so even if you did ask the bee to fix your car, it probably wouldn't get very far. But unless it's something that a bee could do, I don't know. What do you think a bee could do? Maybe it could dust the vents out or something. Maybe you had a critical dust vent
Dip
failure or
stitch.
something that a bee could help you with, or maybe a bee could. Do you think a bee could clear a little electrical fault? Probably not, honestly. But
I don't know.
uh, there must be something a bee could do, because we want them to be as
Bees
we want them all they can be. That's right.
in the army.
Right. In the RB. That would be the RB from Arby's or
Or,
something. That's right. Anyway, we haven't thought this through very well. Ladies and gentlemen, my fucking joint went out, but that happens. Jeff Papalia is pollinating a PPB. So is that peanut butter? Peanut PPB. What is peanut butter? PPB. I feel like I should know
B.
that. What's that, D?
Peanut butter breath, PBB.
A peanut butter breath. No, that would be PBB. Peanut butter breath. PP.
Yeah.
Maybe it's peanut pepper breath. Well, he'll tell us in a second. PPB by Duliga. Okay, we don't know either of those. So tell us more, Jeff Papalia. Jeff, by the way, if you guys don't know, south of the border grower. So obviously he does everything upside down. When he waters, it comes out of the can backwards. And beautiful,
Toilets
beautiful,
go
beautiful
flush
garden.
backwards.
Pardon?
Don't forget the toilets flush
That's right.
backwards.
That's right. When you arrive to Australia, the crocodiles greet you at the airport. They say, "Good day, mate." Kind of a shower thought I had the other day, now that I think about it. I didn't Google this now that I think about it too, because I just probably forgot, because literally just a fucking shower thought. But I was thinking, okay, so in the 80s and 90s, British farmers fed their cows ground up beef, basically, to just don't even think through their logic. It didn't make any fucking sense. But they thought it would be cheap and easy and spectacular and fun. And they created mad cow disease, right? Bovine spongiform encephalitis or some shit. Encephalitis, I think it is. Anyway, it's a prion disease, basically. And prions oftentimes do come from eating the former remains of not only your own species, other species also, but generally speaking, they're most contagious to your own species. So, for example, right now, chronic wasting disease with deer in America is another prion disease. So, anyway, um, shower thought I had was crocodiles and alligators too, I think, but mainly crocodiles because they're so fucking aggressive, are known for being cannibalistic. They're known for being everythingistic, basically, but they are also very famous for eating each other. And so I thought to myself, how do they avoid getting prion diseases? And they're, famously, crocodiles and alligators and stuff have been around for fucking hundreds of millions of years, for basically unchanged, right? How the fuck have they avoided prions? I don't know. Maybe, but prions are famously almost impossible to destroy. So famously, alligators and crocodiles, like they can dissolve metal in their stomach and stuff. So it's like, oh, maybe that's the case. But famously, prions, like you can't actually burn them with fire. Like you have to actually take them to like ceramic temperatures to actually denature the prions and stuff. It's really, honestly, quite. Uh, I hesitate to say scary because it's not like I'm sitting here quaking in my boots, but it's one of those things you're like, oh, geez, that's some fucked up shit. It's like nerve gas or something, like not much you can do about it. Uh,
We need the crocodile hunter. Figure it all out.
I'm so very confused right now, Jeff Papalia. Is Bin Chicken a breeder name? Because that would be a fantastic breeder name, honestly, Bin Chicken.
Oh,
Uh,
that's funny. Dim
don't tell me
sum.
his name is Osama Bin Chicken. That would be ridiculous. That would be fucking ridiculous. Uh, um,
Someone drinking.
Sorry, it's a PBB. Oh, it is a PBB by Duliga, and it's an ABC by Thai. Duliga is an ABC by Thai. Okay, interesting. Maybe it is made by Bin Chicken. That'd be a fantastic breeder name. Hello, my name is Chicken. Bin Chicken. That's his secret agent introduction, obviously, right? My name's Chicken. Bin Chicken. Cheers, Dankibus Kind. Good to see you. 11:11, everybody. Make a wish. Hopefully we will wish for I don't even know, world peace or happier gardens or some shit.
Oh shit, I already got this loaded with
Better gas
cans.
mileage, whatever you wish for, ladies and gentlemen. May it come true, unless it's something bad. And in that case, may it happen to you instead. Uh, uh, only positive wishes or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, it is still 11:11, so that's my wish. Only positive wishes. May they come true. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that's a breeder's name, Bin Chicken. That's a spectacular name. I love it.
That's
One of these
awesome.
days we have to have Bin Chicken on this show. That is just spectacular. Anybody named Bin Chicken is probably interesting enough to have on this show. Sight unseen, honestly. Like, could be a war criminal, I suppose. I mean, the
Huh.
world is a complex place, but I doubt it. I think Bin Chicken is probably a spectacular person
Been
to talk to.
drinking.
We're going to have to get in touch with Bin Chicken. He's been breeding ABC for years. Oh, and I forgot, completely forgot you were talking about ABC, and I completely did not connect the dots. Australian Bastard Cannabis. There we go.
Uh-huh.
Australian Bastard Cannabis by Thai. Um, so I'm just trying to think, have I smoked enough of this that I can say that this is true, or am I just repeating gossip? I've smoked a little bit of the ABC, so I'm kind of repeating gossip. When I've talked to people, fellow breeders here and there that have kind of brought it up. Freak Show and Australian Bastard Cannabis sort of superficially look the same. They've got the weird leaf shapes and stuff. So one of the first questions you might ask, oh, do they have a very similar high? Or does it have a good high and all that kind of stuff? And in many cases, I've heard from people say, ABC, very cool features, very cool this, but it's sort of wishful thinking. And I keep wondering if I keep hearing from time to time that there is somebody working on a good Australian Bastard Cannabis line, but I guess I haven't looked into it enough to know about it. I would think that somebody's working with good weed, but then again, the fractal weirdness of the leaf, it's obvious why somebody would work with that, even if it didn't have a good uh, weed profile, flavor profile, anything else. It's just unique, you know what I mean? And then it's also one of those kinds of things that it's obvious that if you worked on it long enough and then brought it back into cannabis, unless the traits are so locked in that you couldn't remove them, that you presumably could do something really interesting. So it's obvious why people are working with that. It's not like it's trash weed or something. Freak Show in the US actually has a halfway interesting high, believe it or not, but it comes from completely different breeding. So anyway, I'm kind of wondering out loud because actually I'm wondering how the ABC smokes. I'm wondering if some of the gossip that I've heard is just nonsense, honestly. So curious. I'd love to hear more about it. He says he would be great to interview. He knows his stuff. Right on, yeah. We need to, I honestly just need to write this down. I was like, I need to remember this. Oh yeah, I could actually take a note. Picture. That's one of the things I like about Apple phones. This was funny. I was having a conversation with somebody that has a an Android phone, and they were like, "Oh, you should totally do some memory." I can't remember how it came up, but you should totally create a memory thing of your photos. And I was like, oh, I get that every day. Like my phone just sends those to me all the time. It's almost overly sentimental. You know, I'll get basically too many old pictures of my dogs and stuff. And it comes with this like a slideshow and music and everything. And actually, Apple toned it down recently, maybe because it was excessive, right? But for example, now, anytime I basically open up my phone, there's a little box that has, for example, now beach days over the years. And I have a picture of my black lab that I had for many years basically digging on the beach. What a lovely thing, right? And evidently, Android phones don't naturally do that. I was like, are you serious? Really? Google doesn't do that? What the hell? Uh, apparently, they don't do that. Uh, what was I literally just going to look up? I completely forgot what I was going to look up on my fucking phone. Oh, I was going to make a note. I was going to make a note of, I'm telling you, this pine sol, dude. Breeders.
Get what's his name on the show.
Uh,
Sorry, I created the name of it. Bin chicken.
Do you know him, Jeff, by any chance? Have you, I don't know, are you on conversational terms or something? Because I always say one of the problems with Instagram and everything else is, you know, you can reach out to people and sometimes they'll respond right away. Sometimes it's not a problem at all. But sometimes people don't check their message requests or whatever else. So it's always
Yeah.
easier if you know somebody. So if you know the guy, that would be killer. Uh, You'd walk straight by it in the bush, in the wild in Australia. Doesn't look like cannabis at all until flower. Huh. Yeah. And I've heard that's one of the reasons why people bred that basically is because you could literally grow it and people wouldn't know anything about it until, I guess until it flowered. Then you
Crikey.
probably would know it. But because then it basically like the leaves look so fractal that it looks absolutely nothing like a weed plant, right? Just your brain doesn't ping that way basically. And unfortunately, though, when it flowers, the flowers do look like recognizable colas with those crazy leaves coming out of it. The Israeli military uses these um, helmet coverings called uh, uh, Mitsnifits, I think they're
Uh,
called. I don't speak Hebrew, so I don't know what it stands for. It could probably stand for bag over your head or something. But
what?
it's literally essentially a bag over your head. And basically, sometimes they're camouflaged as leaves or whatever, but basically, it's just kind of this loose. Here, I could probably show you a picture of it. It's just this loose satchel of shit that you essentially wrap over your helmet because a helmet is so unnatural in life, right? Like, where do you find smooth, round surfaces that are potentially moving around? Only on soldiers, right? Uh,
Mhm.
I even misspelled it. Mitsnefet. Uh, here we go. Mitsnefet, good. Here we go. Da, 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 da. But
Exactly.
so it's
No,
literally just
no,
like a
no, no.
canvas. It's apparently super light. It's just a little fabric thing. And what it does is it completely makes your head not look like, I mean, you can totally camouflage and stuff like that, but it makes it look unrecognizable. And evidently they are so fucking effective. For some reason, other militaries haven't uh, uh, um, taken them over. I mean, you see ghillie suits and stuff. It's the same basic principle. In many cases, they don't really completely camouflage you. It just makes you look not like what you're supposed to look like. And so your brain basically, it's kind of like driving. You know,
Ah.
people oftentimes get oppositional blindness, I think it's called, or what's the other one? I can't think of a real word for it, but like bicyclists blindness. People are so focused on looking at cars that they will exclude everything else. And so that means, for example, a lot of times pedestrians and bicyclists that are hit are essentially hit because people literally didn't see them. They were invisible. Their brain didn't process them as they were passing by. Their eyes saw them, but their brain literally didn't process them
I
because
saw.
vision, so much of your vision is not only reception but also cognition, right? Your brain is perceiving all the data, and there's so much data coming in that your brain can't really recognize all of it and has to focus and recognize on some
Ah.
things, right? He loves those fresh brains, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get him started. Brain martini, chilled. Shaken, not stirred, right? That would be the Bond
Ah.
zombie cocktail, probably. Anyway, what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought because it's a fun
Those
idea of having
helmets.
zombie James Bond. Wouldn't that be a great idea?
Yeah, you're talking about those
James
hats.
Bond, rage, rage. Hello, Money Penny.
Ah. Cheers, everybody.
Like everybody in James Bond is zombies. That's the whole thing. It's like everybody. M, Q. Q is a Money Penny herself is a. The Bond girls are all zombies. They're walking around brains. The villain, ironically, in this version is actually the good guy trying to run away from all the zombies. That's the twist in the movie. So, for example,
Oh,
Dr. No in this movie is actually Dr. Yes.
Dr. Ho. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we just hit the 20 and missed it, my friends. So maybe we'll just bounce. Maybe we'll freaking bounce. We'll mid sniff it. We'll mid sniff it good, ladies and gentlemen. Waka waka waka. Double bag it. Joseph Anthony's saying double bag it. That's exactly it. Jeff Papali was saying, haven't reached out to him, but I have friends that chat with him. There is a way. Oh, that'd be lovely, Jeff Papali. If you could reach out to him, that would be absolutely spectacular. Obviously, I can totally reach out to him as well, but it would be spectacular if you could reach out and say, hey, I know this guy who would love to get back. Don't tell him I would love to get back, but tell them that I would love to interview him. And that is sincerely what I would love to do. I would love to do a lot more serious content. Obviously, from Australia, I'm not going to be able to meet him in person. That's just not realistic. But I would very much, speaking of which, very much like to do some in-person interviews. I very much want to do some more documentary style content, not just on this channel, but on a couple other channels that I'm slowly working on. I can't really say that they're ready yet to talk
Ooh.
about, but slowly working
Dum,
on.
dum, dum.
Yeah, right. But ladies and gentlemen, I would very much like to be a little bit more serious. This live streaming stuff is enjoyable for the people who are doing it and stuff, but it doesn't go anywhere. You know, my channels never grow anywhere. The community never really grows. In fact, it shrinks, unfortunately. It's this weird thing about weed where you can seemingly only lose friends in these kind of communities, but very, very, very annoying. I'd like to get out of that kind of rut, basically. And one of the ways that I'd like to do that is by doing things that I would like to do more. You know what I mean? So, what better way to motivate yourself than to do the things that you want to do? You know what I mean? So, I would like to very much do some more documentary style interviews, videos, etc., in person, hopefully, and then also very much I'd like to do some more serious interviews with breeders. Uh, uh, might even do some of them offline so that I can edit them and make sure that we don't say anything that can get hit by trolls and stuff. Because unfortunately, I think basically trolls and people reporting your channel are just essentially part of life. Honestly, I was literally watching a completely unrelated channel before the show. I was just having some lunch and turned on YouTube, and Gary Eats from the UK, food review channel from the UK, completely different continent. You know what I mean? Same language, different continent. was talking about some drama with another channel that I follow from the UK, Rate My Takeaway. Anyway, da, 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 da. One of the things he mentioned basically was some channel drama. This guy left his channel. Da, da, da. It's not worth getting into. But among other things, one of this guy's complaints from being he was kind of the face of the channel and he left the channel. One of his complaints for causing him to leave the channel was that they would get the most horrifying comments in their chat. And so there were three people effectively running the channel. I guess I should probably clarify a little bit more. There were three people running this channel, Rate My Takeaway, or working on it basically. The presenter, face of the channel, that most people probably would assume was the creator and everything else because he's sort of the character and lifeblood of the show. But actually, no, the creators of the show, the creators of the idea, were the cameraman and the editor, essentially, who were always, 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 always off camera, never on camera. Well, the creators, the cameraman and editor evidently also controlled the YouTube channel, completely controlled the YouTube channel. Evidently, the presenter only had read access. So just like all of you guys basically could have read access. Whereas, for example, D has control access. In theory, he could lock me out of my own channel, I guess, right? Well, the presenter basically would get these horrifying comments. He's unfortunately kind of a big guy, and he's gone through some drama in his life. His ex-partner passed away. Now he's remarried. Now people call his new wife a gold digger, and da 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 da. God, they say the worst thing about this guy, worst things about this guy, and evidently, I guess that's not important. All the drama is not important. But I was just thinking to myself that a fucking food review channel where the guy is literally like the nicest guy you could imagine, literally just going around almost always saying positive things about restaurants. Every once in a while he'll say, "Oh, the food wasn't good," da da da. But basically kind of harmlessly going around, I suppose, gluttonifying the world or something. Maybe you could complain about that, maybe. But like, why would you get these comments like this guy is a monstrous piece of like I looked at some of the comments actually because I was curious, honestly, how gross they were, and they were still there. Some of these old videos had these fucking horrifying comments that had, mind you, been upvoted, 50,000 times or something. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is the internet. We really should rethink it, honestly, because we should think about maybe going back to papers and pens because it just emboldens the absolute shit stains of the world that normally would, for a good thing, probably not have a voice. You like to think that free speech is a good thing, and for 99.9% of the time, it genuinely is. But then you just always you get the shit stains essentially. And before the internet, they were alone. They couldn't they yelled in a void basically, right? Because they couldn't find each other. Now they can form entire communities. They can commune with each other. They can have fucking the altar of the shit stain. They can have fucking oligarchs. They can have popes. They can have an entire priestly class of the fucking shit stains. You know what I mean? It's really, really something else. Hierarchy. I'm just kind of thinking about this now. Like there's a hierarchy of the shit stain community. So fascinating. And arguably that is the case because, for example, I hope I do actually offend some people saying this. The guy that assassinated, or not, I mean, whatever, that's a whole minefield. But the guy that assassinated Kirk evidently is a griper. And the gripers basically are followers of this, I would argue, obvious shit stain Nick Fuentes, who is really a complex character, just a genuinely complex character. Not apparently openly gay, but apparently known to be gay. Nazi. He doesn't even call himself a neo-Nazi. He calls himself a Nazi. It's just such weird people. Which, by the way, is not as it's not as ironic as you might think, right? Because the early Nazi Party was arguably filled with gay people. It's nothing against gay people whatsoever, but the original Nazi Party, until the Night of the Long Knives, basically was known as essentially that was one of the main criticisms by their enemies, basically by the communists and so on, fair criticisms of the early Nazi Party, that it was basically a very much a boys' club. But yeah, they murdered a bunch of those guys, Ernst Röhm and all those guys, in the Night of the Long Knives. Such an odd history, fascist movements, and it just it blows your mind that people would be like, "Oh, I want to sign back up for that. I think those fascist guys are great. Oh, those guys are cool." Sometimes you know when you've met an idiot, Every once in a while you know when you meet an idiot. Generally they hide among the public, right? And you have to kind of discover that they're an idiot, right? But every once in a while you meet an idiot and they just tell you. But whatever, we'll get off the politics for the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave the interview with a couple of puffs, my friends. D, what's new for you? Got any fun plans today?
No, not really. Just hanging out. Mrs. D went out. Um, with Mrs. D's mom, she had to take her nephew to tennis practice, and then they're gonna go for a walk along
Tennis
the
practice.
lakeshore.
Oh la la.
Yeah. No, actually, he's really good. He's really tall. He's good.
That's cool.
So,
Tennis
yeah,
is a lot
man.
of fun though. I'm being a sarcastic
Oh,
prick.
I
Tennis is
know.
tons of fun. Uh,
I got yeah. But yeah. Um, go for it.
I gotta take some clones today. That's kind of critical because if I don't take those clones, I'll probably end up losing those genetics, and that'll be annoying because Jesus Christ. How much trouble do you go through to keep genetics? But the annoying
Hmm.
thing about genetics is you never really know what other people are going to care about. You know, as a breeder, for example, you never really know what other people are going to care about because by the time you get the genetics, for example, get them from a friend or buy them or fucking find them on a street corner, uh, it's going to take 6 months at the least, basically, for you to get them out of your house, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the very least, if you rushed it tomorrow and did everything as fast as possible, still take you 4.5 months, basically. And by that time, people may have lost all interest in that genetic. That happens all the time. People are talking about some hot new thing, and then 6 months later, crickets. Um, so anyway, you're always wondering. I'm always wondering, oh, what to keep, what to get, what to get, let go, what to get rid of. Uh, I'm perpetually, gosh, I've reacquired ice cream cake like probably 3 or 4 times, a couple times from a friend, a couple times I literally just drove over to archive and bought it again. I recently just kind of let it go because I'm like, well, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I can just literally go back to archive if I want it again. Oh, it's the weirdest fucking thing. I love that ice cream cake. It makes such great flour. I've bred with it a couple times. I actually need to release the JTR version of it that I bred. But sometimes people are way into it. Some people are not into it. It's just the most annoying thing. So anyway, I've got a couple genetics like that. I'm like, oh fuck, I want to keep them for myself, but I don't know if it's, who knows if it's even worth sticking my neck out, or something like that, going through any trouble. Because 6 months from now, or whenever I actually breed those genetics, because it's going to take a while for me to actually work them in the schedule, who knows if anybody will want any of that stuff? It's just so stupid. But whatever. That's how it is. I wish it were as simple as some people get away with this, and I really give them props for being able to do it. I wish it were as simple as being able to work on your own genetics and line breed down to find the F5s, the F6s of fucking something super, super stable that you've really necked down into something unique. And everybody says that they want that, but the reality is nobody wants that. There isn't a single person on the market, I think, that's looking for those things. Maybe there is, but those people are very, 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 very specific and specifically minded. They're probably at research places and so on. I don't know. None of the kind of weed stoners that I encounter on a daily basis are looking for F5s. They say they are, but they're not. So effectively, I don't know. I don't. I guess I'm just talking to a void right now. I'm just kind of talking out loud. Whatever. I'm just talking out loud, I guess, more or less. D Zombie says, "Oh my goodness, I got an ounce of bubblegum hash and 2 ounces of Kush mints coming. Holy fucking shit, D Zombie, save some fucking winning for the rest of us. Holy shit. Uh, an ounce of bubblegum hash. That's gonna be lovely.
Yeah.
2 ounces of Kush mints.
And
Uh, I haven't flowered that Kush mints for a long time. Kush mints is very polarizing. It's another one of those JBZ strains, and he is what he is. He
I like
breeds good
them.
weed. I have to be honest. He does breed good weed, but there is
Yeah.
very much a Kush mintsification of the weed scene. Very much like there's a cookiesification of the weed scene. There's everything starting to taste like his stuff because everything gets bred with his stuff. It is very much an annoying thing. Speaking very much, actually, kind of segueing into that, basically from what I was just talking about. You never really know what people want, partly because people seem to just want all the stuff that's just been basically agglomerating into one big clump of fucking blob bullshit. Gelato Kush OG or some shit. Zookies. Gelato Zookies OG or some shit. I don't even fucking know. Guess he's talking out loud. All right, boys and goys, male jammers and banana slammers,
Man pajamas.
mofos and motherfucking momos. What else? MILFs and whatever. All the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for hanging. Good to see you all. Good to see Jeff Papalia. Always a pleasure. Dead Fish Fan, I didn't shout you out earlier. There we go. I'm sorry about that. He says there are 3 times. Oh my goodness. He says maybe we did shout you out earlier, but shout out just the same, Dead Fish Fan. He was talking about those fucking hornets are 3 times the size of a yellow jacket, and they have buzz where their what did he say? And they have buzz where their yellow and black lines are. They have buzz where there is that metaphorical? I think it is. I think it's metaphorical. It's like they have anger where their wings normally would be. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. Well, I guess D, go for it first, honestly.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for everybody. Thanks to Streamy always for putting it together. Don't forget to tune in Saturday. Same bad time, same bad channel. Peace.
Cheers, buddy. Stone Root, are you saying hash plant or NL? Is the HP hash plant? He says, I taste hash plant or NL in almost everything. I fucking know what you mean. Uh, once you've tasted NL, and then, for example, the Thunderfuck, and what else? Obviously, Hindus, and what else? Oh, and then any of a number of different tropical plants, for example, almost any haze. You've basically tasted almost all of cannabis at that point, and they're just all reshuffled in different order. You know what I mean? So you can almost always taste the Thunderfuck in there. Almost, I don't know. I would say 3/4 of the time when it's something funky, NL was involved. If it wasn't, you can bet you there was a fucking Afghan in there somewhere, but I bet you the Afghan basically came through in the form of that NL probably, or even maybe was reinforced with that NL. Same thing, anytime there's anything lemony or fruity, it basically came from one of those hazes, on and on. Like, we don't have a huge genetic diversity at the moment in cannabis, so hopefully that will change in the future, but we almost have to neck it down in order to neck it back out. So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. Because don't forget, of course, we can't exactly benefit from all the hemp variety because there's a tremendous variety of. We saw some earlier today in the show with Hardcore's tremendous variety in the hemp genome, but the drug variety that we prefer basically for THC and even arguably for the CBD plants, because those have been selected, from what I understand, mostly from THC aberrant plants, basically. So it's as if basically it's kind of like the out of Africa theory for humankind, how we left Africa and then, for example, separated into populations and then basically bred with Neanderthals who were also among us that left out of Africa. But then we all that left Africa have more Neanderthal population, but Africans also have Neanderthal population, so they bred at some point back with those same populations. I'm describing this super poorly. Admixture. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll fucking shut the fuck up. We'll. Oh, I almost had a great pun, but it fell out of my fucking face. No, it didn't fall out of my face. It fell out of my head before it fell out of my face. Add, will, I had mixture something. We're not going to find it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. I didn't even say anything about my website. Now that I think about it, see, I'm a pretty poor salesman. Ladies and gentlemen, guess the coupon code, guess the website, guess the strain that I'm thinking of. I'm kidding. Coupon codes are Jew Gold and Giddy Up, ladies and gentlemen, 40% off either one. Any of the exactly, that's the website right there. That's buy yourself your favorite chocolate. I just can't tell you because if I do, some trolls will report my website. It's not illegal or anything else. It's just kind of infuriating, honestly. I have accumulated some hate obsessives. I don't know how else to describe it, and I know they're not gone yet. So it's really annoying. Somehow they watch every single show until the end. I don't know. Maybe they get an AI overview of it because I could never force myself to watch that much of their content. I can't even begin to imagine it. It would be like being waterboarded. You know what I mean? I think I would almost prefer being waterboarded than that, to be perfectly frank with you. But whatever. Of course, if you actually got waterboarded, they always say that it's basically the worst thing that's ever happened to you. So perhaps in the moment, I would say, no, 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 take me back to their fucking show. But at the moment, I would rather be waterboarded than watch that fucking trash. So I can't imagine hate obsessing that hard. But so I can't tell you the website. You're gonna have to guess, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to know, Dee could tell you. I could tell you after the show. I could happily tell you, but I can't tell you right now on the air. But use the coupon code GiddyUp or Jew Gold, ladies and gentlemen. Both are inside jokes. So yes, I'm not just some kind of a crazy person. Save yourself 40% off all of the genetics on the website, ladies and gentlemen. And I guess that's it. Thanks very much for hanging, folks. Joseph Anthony. Anybody else that I didn't? I always feel bad if I didn't shout out one of the regular freaking commenters. Dank of his kind. Good to see you, buddy. Who else? Well, all of you, my friends. Lurkers, non-lurkers, all of you. Be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to puff something wonderful and don't let it go out all the time like I did just now. But of course, I will finish this joint. Don't never fear, ladies and gentlemen. The lighter is here. Until we meet again, my friends, which will be presumably, I guess, on Saturday. What do you think, D? Another Saturday
Yeah, I'm
show, shall
on.
we? All right, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it to it. Thanks very much, folks. And of course, tell your friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's always helpful for these shows, especially these conversational shows. Would love to hear from you on Saturday. If you, one of the reasons why we do these shows, a couple different times of the day, a couple different days of the week, is so that other people can show up on these shows. I have definitely thought about doing the Saturday shows maybe in the afternoon instead of the evenings. Maybe we'll switch off or so. I don't know. We can figure that out. But I'd love to hear from some new folks, people. I'd love to hear from some new people. Folks is what I meant to say. Would love to have some new people coming on. Would love to have some more garden tours. Obviously, not all of you can do garden tours. I get it. But anyone who can, oh gosh, I would love to see some garden tours. I would love to see some new faces. On and on and on. So, folks, tell your friends. If you're bashful about it, let me know. Maybe there's something that I can do to make you less bashful. For example, maybe I can teach you how to use the avatar. Some folks, I think, don't know that you can use these avatars that make you super anonymous. I mean, you could be Godzilla basically on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I basically created this avatar from the options. Like, it's not like I have to. It's not like I had to Photoshop this avatar or some shit from 3D effects. No, this is basically one of the avatar options basically that I select. I selected the hair and the beard and the freaking glasses and the eyes and all the stupid colors and whatever else. Or if I want to, I can select one of the pre-made avatars. Like here's a dog, here's a bear, here's a rabbit, here's a cat, here's a cow. Excuse me, what else? That's about all the options. There's a raccoon, another kind of bear, fox. Yeah, that's about all. There's like hooded and
That's great.
unhooded versions of each one, basically. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my point is a lot of you, I think, assume that you have to show your face and get super embarrassed and whatever else. No, ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely don't. We can absolutely figure that out. You can even still be, as you see on camera, but private. You know what I mean? They're so hilarious because when uh, uh, I'm always getting on Bud Kilwa. Don't you on in front of the camera, but when you use this, like when you open your mouth, or you can scream and it freaking yawns for you. Honestly, it's really funny. It is equal parts creepy as well, but also funny because it's mapping your face and shit. Anyway, whatever. The creepiness ship has apparently sailed. You know what I mean? People are going to be walking around with those fucking meta glasses, dissecting. I'm sure there will be an extension as you walk through the street. Look for women's OnlyFans pages, and so as you're walking, for example, through a college campus, it'll ping anybody. It'll like, do facial recognition for OnlyFans pages. That would be so creepy. That's so 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 creepy. That's the first. What does it say about me that that's the first thing that I could think of? But I'm serious. Like the amount of privacy violations that shit is going to have is excessive. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the future is dark.
Edit that out.
What's that, D?
We gotta remember to edit that part out.
No, it's just. I mean, it's just the first thing that I could think about it.
I'm
I'm being
kidding.
sarcastic, honestly. But I mean, no, seriously. Like you're talking. You always talk about scam baiting and stuff. People's um, What's the first thing I can? Well, I mean, if you were any kind of a malicious actor, you could basically just track people's movements. You could basically just walk around and record faces, essentially, and you could
Yeah.
record who's around in a certain place, and you could start stalking people based on that, basically. Oh, there's any number of fucking creepy ass fucking things that you will be able to do. Jesus H Christ. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. But it just is what it is. It's kind of like AI, you know what I mean? Like we complain about it and stuff, but we have to just kind of get used to it because it's not going away. They're talking about in Hollywood now the AI actress. Give me a fucking break. It's an AI algorithm that some Hollywood producer has basically created to test the waters. Anyway, everyone is freaking out about this AI actress. Jesus Christ. Well, welcome to the club. Everyone knows that the corporate entities, the studio bosses, for example, they don't want to pay anybody. They don't want to pay DiCaprio or anybody else. They want to keep all the money for themselves. So if they could have an AI that will never sleep, never eat, never complain, who cares if it's soulless and fucking an enslaved automaton? Not them. They're laughing all the way to the bank. But the rest of us, unfortunately, have to get used to their reality, I guess. Exactly. Don't look at anyone with Ray-Bans on. Jesus fucking Christ. Ladies and gerbils, thanks very much for joining us. Creepy future premonitions and all. Audio skaters and taters and AI haters. Thanks very much for hanging. Somehow we'll get through this together, or we won't. I don't know. Something will happen. In the future, something will happen.